Greetings. This is for you. My name is Stan Hustad, and I'm a friend of Bruce Schumann, and I am the leader and the executive director of a new movement which we call the Christian Entrepreneur Network. And I just introduced you to 4 of the most powerful words in life and business. This is for you. May I tell you the story? Years ago, as I began my career, because this kind of describes me, I'm a teacher. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a business performance coach. And right now I'm doing a lot of work in helping people use their business and savvy and knowledge on the modern media. So I describe myself as a teacher, a broadcaster, a business performance coach, and a modern media mentor. And I'd like to see if perhaps I could be of some practical use to you. When I was doing international broadcasting as a missionary, I did a late night program. It was called Night Call. And people were up throughout the late night and oftentimes even into the early morning, and they would listen to our music and musings. And I particularly made it a request program where people could request certain things to be said, done, or played, the music. One time this happened, I just said it, and it became my signature statement. I think it was, his name was James, and ironically he was from Jamaica, so it was James and from Jamaica. And I got the letter and I said, tonight we have a request from James. He's in Jamaica, and he's gone through some very difficult times lately. And his mother has been very supportive of him, and he's come through it all, and he thinks things are going to work out. And so he'd like me to play for him and for his mother, One Day at a Time by Tennessee Ernie Ford. And then I paused, and this is what happened. I said, James and your mom, in Jamaica, this is for you. I found out that people were deeply and dearly touched when they realized that I would say to them, this is for you. This is for you. This is just for you. Later on in my business work, I taught businessmen that when they delivered a product, businesswomen, when they made that appearance and actually provided the service, they would learn to say, this is for you. It's powerful words. We like to believe that we are special and that somebody would do something just for us. So this is for you because you and Bruce are friends of mine. And this program is only being done for you. Now, I could have done it for 100 different people, but one of the services we offer is programs of value and help that are just for you. Not for everybody, for you. For those of you who are in that circle of friends that encompasses the work and the mission and the ministry of Bruce. And by the way, Bruce helped change my life and my business many years ago as I was just starting out. He asked me what I now call the BQ, the Bruce question. Ask him what it is. It is one of the most powerful questions you can ask a business, and it's one of the most powerful things you can learn to answer when you want to do business with somebody. The Bruce question. Very briefly, in our conversation, I said, how can I help your people? And we got to talk about that, and I said, what if we could illustrate that essentially you could learn business principles from the Word of God, from even St. Paul, entrepreneur. The Christian Entrepreneur Network claims as one of its charter members St. Paul, because he was an entrepreneur. That's right. He was not just a missionary and a theologian. He was a business owner. And I can, I think, prove that to you, but that might be a different program. But let me just tell you what I learned from St. Paul that changed my heart, mind, and spirit, and in effect made business possible. In one of his leadership letters to the Christians at Philippi, I learned the secret of business success. And may I just share it briefly with you, and if you'd like to, we could have a little greater explanation some other time. It's a little 4-point leadership letter. And here's how it goes. Chapter 1. Paul, in effect, begins his letter as he begins many letters. I give thanks upon every remembrance of you. Let me tell you, a thankful and grateful heart is seldom a fearful heart. And if you are an entrepreneur, if you are in business, you know the meaning of deep fear. One guy joked, he said, once you start your own business, you'll never feel fear again. You'll graduate to sheer terror. Well, hey, a thankful and grateful heart is seldom a fearful heart. And St. Paul said, when I think about you, I give thanks. In all things, whatever, I give thanks. I have an attitude of thankfulness. Do you know how nice it is to hear that? Whenever I think about you, I give thanks. Say that to a client or customer sometime. Chapter 2, what St. Paul directs us to is, in effect, Jesus came not to put on a show, but to serve others. That's what he did. And what I have found out is that's the primary lesson, is to imitate Jesus in discovering how you can serve others. You have a business. It's for you and your family. But the prime issue is not you and your family. It's who are your customers? Who has God called you to serve? And how can you serve them? You would be surprised how many businessmen and women can tell me about their business, but they can't tell me who they're trying to serve and how they're going to do that. So in chapter 2, you understand you better know how to serve others. Chapter 3, my favorite. In effect, St. Paul, who's gone through some rough times, says, you know what? I have to forget what is behind. First of all, I have to forgive and forget the people who've betrayed me and hurt me. By the way, you've all had people who betrayed and hurt you, haven't you? I know you have. I've been betrayed and hurt many times, and so have you. That's life. Forget about it. Forgive it. Forget it. Forget it. It's behind. Hey, I've been really successful at one time. We sometimes call them FIPS, formerly important people. Forget about it. Who cares? It's behind you. St. Paul says, forget the past, both the great tragedies and calamities and also the victories. I encourage you to press toward the mark. Mark. First of all, what mark are you going to make in people's life? How is their life going to be different? What mark are they going to have? Number 2, what are the goals? Oftentimes the mark is translated press toward the goal. What are the markers you have for your life in business? Only 3% of the population know who they are, what they want to accomplish, and what God has called them to do and how to do it, and they have a plan. Only 3%. They have markers, and they're trying to make that mark. They're going to press toward the marks. And mark, trademark. What's your trademark? What makes you distinct and different and unique? There are thousands, there are millions of people out in the marketplace doing what you do. They may not do it as well as you do it. They may even do it better than you do it. But what makes you different? What's your trademark? What makes you different? Press toward the mark you're going to make in the world. Press toward the goals that God has given you and your team and family and colleagues have decided upon. And what makes you different, unique, and powerful? What's your trademark? That was from St. Paul, 2,000 years ago. He knew what life and business was all about because he was a businessman. He had a business. That's how he supported his ministry. He even says so. And he also tells me that he knows good times and bad times, feast and famine. He's been to both. You been there? I have. I'm in one of those situations right now, and it may not be all the best. But, you know, we'll go on. Chapter 4. Fill your mind with good things. There it is. Jesus said, what you think about, you become. Earl Nightingale said, the secret is what fills your heart, mind, and spirit, and that's what drives your success. He was only 2,000 years late, but it changed the world because people heard it on the radio. So, chapter 4. What are you doing to fill your mind with good things? You take 20 minutes to learn, study, and pray every day. There you go. My friends, this is for you. Chapter 1. I give thanks upon every remembrance of you. Chapter 2. Who are you called to serve? And how can you do that in a way that is exceptional? Forgetting what is behind, are you doing that, or are you clinging to what's behind? Are you pressing toward the future, the high calling of God? What's your marks? Are you making your marks? Are you sure of your marks? Are your marks in place? And what are you doing every day to fill your heart, mind, and spirit with good and noble and pure and wonderful things? That, my friends, just may be right there the key to all life and business success. And I would like today to share it with you because truly this is for you. I'm Stan Hustad. If I can help you, Bruce can show you how to do that. StanHustad@gmail.com, StanHustad@gmail.com. You can hear me hang out at tcenglobal.org, tcenglobal.org, and that's the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and we invite you to join and be a part of those people who are truly going to make a difference in the marketplace in the coming years. It has to be done. We have to be good workers because that makes the world thrive and survive, and we have to be good worshipers because that's what keeps the world from flying apart. So all the best and blessings to you in your work and worship. And we can do this just like we did it for Bruce and you. We can do it for you and your company and your organization. Again, StanHustad@gmail.com. StanHustad@gmail.com. I wish you all the best and blessings. Until next time, peace be with you.